Hi Leo, welcome to your Sealing the Timeline reading. This is a collective reading and it's in regard to an astrological event that's taking place, and this event ends on September 14th, and whatever energies are still in our life at that time will move forward with us into the next 12-year cycle of the planetary rotation. So I am not an astrologer by any means, but I have put a link below to an astrologer, Psychic Sounds by B, and she has a very detailed video on this event and what happens and why it happens and all that stuff. I wanted to do this reading because I feel like, sometimes we kind of don't be honest with ourselves. That's not good grammar. We're kind of not honest with ourselves about things that we need to work on within ourselves. So I said, you know what, but our spirit guides are honest with us, God's honest with us, the Holy Spirit's honest with us. So they're the best people to go to find out what it is that we want to consider as we move through this astrological event. So I'm going to pull 4 energy cards. This is going to be a little bit longer reading. I'm going to pull 4 energy cards, one for love, one for money, one for family and friend relationships, and that would include coworkers, and then one for health and wellness. And then we're going to get, we'll find out what your energies are, what it is in those energies they want you to work on. We'll pull the clarifiers to see exactly what they're talking about. Again, I'm not an astrologer, so I've explained it the best I can, or the most that I should, and you can click the link below to watch their reading. But I just know that we all probably have things that we don't want to carry with us for 12 more years. So this is an opportunity for us to let Spirit speak into our lives and tell us what it is that we should consider over the next few weeks. Okay, so God, guides, angels, and archangels. In regard to this astrological event, tell us what it is for Leo that we should consider in regard to love over these next few weeks to be able to live up to our higher self in the next 12-year cycle. God, guides, angels, archangels, and Holy Spirit show us clearly what it is in the subject of love that we should work on or consider over the next few weeks to be able to walk into this next 12-year cycle in alignment with our higher self. We thank you for clear and concise messages, and we thank you for clarification, confirmation, and validation. Okay, let's see what they have to say. In regard to love, they're saying fertility. And right now I'm just going to put the cards down. We're going to go through each subject, then we'll come back with the clarifiers, go through each subject, and then we'll dig into the messages. So in regard to money, show us what it is that Leo should consider over the next few weeks to be able to live out the next 12 years in alignment with their highest self. Show us clearly. Clarification, confirmation, and validation, and thank you. In regard to money, trapped in fear. Okay. Are we having money issues, Leo? Show us clearly in regard to family and friends and coworker relationships. What is it that Leo should consider over the next few weeks in regard to the energy they'll carry with them over the next 12-year cycle, and what can they do to live in alignment with their higher self? Okay. And in that regard, they're saying new beginnings. That's exciting. And in regard to health and wellness, what is it that Leo should consider over the next few weeks to live out the next 12-year cycle in alignment with their higher self? I just feel like this is important. Like I said earlier, 12 years is a long time to have to carry something with us because we didn't want to look at it or didn't want to address it. And for health and wellness, you get wisdom. Okay, so I'm going to put those up. We're going to pull the fairy deck. The fairies always have a lot to say. So we're going to ask them to give us clarification on these energies and what it is that Spirit would like for you to consider and work on to be in alignment with your higher self. In regard to love, we're seeing fertility. Tell us what it is about fertility in regard to love that Leo should consider for this next 12-year cycle. Show us what is it in regard to love that fertility has to do with this next 12-year cycle to be in alignment with our higher self. And we're getting the Chariot. We're getting the Five of Autumn. And we're getting the Two of Autumn. Okay, that is in regard to love. And in regard to money, show us what it is that Leo should consider with this Trapped in Fear card for the next 12-year cycle to be able to live in alignment with their higher self. What is it that they should consider? Okay, and you're getting Four of Spring. And you're getting the King of Winter. And you're getting the Wheel of Fortune. Just looks to me like you're playing mind games with yourself, and you need to stop that, Leo. Okay. In regard to family and friends and co-workers, what is it that Leo should consider over the next few weeks to be able to live in alignment with their higher self for the next 12-year cycle? Show us clearly. We thank you for clarification, confirmation, and validation, and the guidance. Show us what is it that Leo should consider to live in alignment with their higher self over this next 12-year cycle. Okay, and we're getting Queen of Spring. We're getting Three of Spring. And we're getting the Empress, which is the same card we got in love. That's very interesting. Different decks. They have a little bit of a different meaning, but in regard to health and wellness, show us what is it that Leo should consider over the next few weeks to be able to live in alignment with themselves, with their higher selves, over the next 12-year cycle. Show us clearly. We thank you for the clarification, confirmation, and validation, and the guidance. Show us clearly where is Leo in regard to health and wellness with this upcoming 12-year cycle to be in alignment with their higher self, their best self. We have the Sun. Okay, and we have the Ten of Autumn. And we have the Six of Summer. Okay, great. All right, so now we're going to dig into these messages, and I'm going to put on my glasses because these fairies really do have a lot to say on these cards. So, in love, we got fertility, which again is the same as the Empress. This woman is very fertile. She manifests things. She is very intuitive. And this is not gender specific, so if you're a guy, don't worry, it definitely includes you too. But this person is very intuitive. They're in tune with spirit. They receive the messages. They are really good at manifesting things into reality. And they're very nurturing, like the ultimate parent type person, okay? Whether you have kids or not, you're very nurturing to your friends and the people in your circle. So in regard to love, it says the Chariot. So it's like you're gonna be almost like you're gonna be in the spotlight. So perhaps there's going to be a little bit of a something for you to consider. So it says you're going to be in the spotlight. Somebody's watching you, okay? And I'm getting this Five of Autumn too. It's like somebody feels left out in the cold, and you might be feeling a little bit of guilt or something like you feel like you should not have left them, you should not have done that, whatever that is. Like you've really hurt them, and you're carrying that with you, and you feel like they're watching you, and you possibly feel like other people are watching you too. And then you have the Two of Autumn, and the Two of Autumn. The Two of Autumn is about juggling things, balancing like maybe work and home life and stuff like that. So, but it looks to me like you're balancing something more like the mind games you're playing with yourself over this particular relationship. So, Leo, this is what I'm getting from this, okay? Because you are so intuitive, because you are so able to manifest things, the energy that you carry, the energy that you let rest in your heart, and this is true for all of us, but it looks like it's maybe more so true with you, especially in the area of love, you manifest it into your life. So if you're carrying this guilt and this feeling like you left somebody out in the cold, or feeling like you got left out in the cold, if you carry that energy with you into this next cycle, it's going to stay with you through the whole cycle. Yes, we all have free will. You can decide that you're not going to think that way anymore, but the energy's still going to be moving with you. It's, according to this astrologer, it's just the way that it is. You'll be able to maneuver in and out of it, but it's always going to be there for at least the next 12 years. So you don't want to carry this into that next 12 years, because it keeps you from being able to receive the love of your life, or your perfect match, or whatever it is that you would like to have ultimately one day. So, and it looks like you feel like people are watching you. You feel like you're being judged because of the way you treated that person, or perhaps you feel like you moved away too fast, you didn't give them enough chances, or something like that. It's something to do with your actions and the way that you left this last relationship, where you feel like you left somebody out in the cold, okay? Perhaps you feel like you moved away too fast, you didn't give them enough chances, you didn't balance your time with them enough, you didn't give them enough of your time, that kind of stuff. And so I feel like Spirit's saying, stop that. Don't carry that with you into this next cycle, because it's 12 years, So release yourself from that guilt. Allow it to dissipate. If you've done everything you could to make it work and it's just not going to work, and it just is not going to work, they're toxic, they drain too much, they're an energy vampire, they drain too much of your energy, any of that stuff, it's, you didn't leave them out in the cold. They chose that. Okay, so take this mindset and work it out of yourself. Get rid of it, because that's not where you want to be. That's not something that you want to deal with over and over again over the next 12-year cycle of the planetary movement. Okay, so next is money, and you're getting trapped in fear. And it is the Eight of Swords. It's the same as the Eight of Swords, okay? So this card is symbolic of, I was just thinking about another reading I did, but anyway, I'm sorry, I got distracted. This card is the symbol of somebody who is trapped, but they're actually not really trapped. And even in this particular case, he's not really trapped. He's behind bars, but look how big those, he could crawl out of there. So in the regular tarot, it's a woman with 8 swords on either side of her. She's tied up, she's got on a blindfold, and her hands are like, or her hands are actually by her side. But she could reach up and grab one of those ties and jerk it and set herself free, take off the blindfold, walk away, because the swords aren't in front of her and they're not in her. So she's she actually could walk right out of it. So this person's trapped in fear, but it's a mental thing. It's all in their mind that they're actually trapped. So it's telling me that in regard to money, you feel trapped, but you're not, because there's actually some things that you could do to change your money situation. Okay, and one of them is be grateful for how much you do have already, okay? Because there really is a lot of abundance all around you. Perhaps they're asking you to look at things a little bit differently. Look at the things to be grateful for in your life. Think about the things, that give you joy every day. Think about the things that could give you joy every day if you focused on them, that kind of stuff. Because whenever we allow our mind to be trapped in fear and we let that worry sit in us, then we allow more of that situation into our lives. We bring more of that situation into our lives. So whenever we're worried about money, we get more money issues to worry about, basically is what I'm saying. So it's saying focus on the great things in your life. That's what it's telling you. Get rid of that fear, get rid of that worry. Focus on the beautiful things, the things that you have to be grateful for. Think about those. It's also saying delays are over. You really do have the ability to change your financial situation, and the universe is on your side. You've got the Wheel of Fortune here, and the wheel does turn. Nothing ever stays the same. So if you're not making as much money as you want right now, you might be on the bottom part of that wheel, but don't worry, it's swinging up and you're going to come on top of it. So while you're up there, though, manage your money wisely, because it might change again. But the point is that right now luck is on your side and your money's going to change, but you got to get rid of that fear. This won't happen if you carry that fear, because the universe doesn't have a mouth, so it doesn't use words. It communicates with energy, okay? So this energy that you're allowing to abide in your body is communicating to the universe fear and worry in regard to money. Money's also an energy, right? So this is what you're vibrating, fear and worry. So the universe is saying, oh yeah, I know that, Leo. They like fear and worry because it's always there. Okay, let's give them more fear and worry in regard to money, because that's where they are, fear and worry. So, because the universe doesn't have a mouth. The universe communicates by vibration, by energy. So, count your blessings. Think about the things that you are thankful for, because you are truly abundant in so many other areas, okay? And your money's going to change. You just have to trust that. So put that fear and worry out of your mind. And then you have the King of Winter. Okay, so get advice from somebody who's more professional and objective. And be unemotional about your relationship with money. Okay, the King of Swords or the King of Winter is the same as the King of Swords. He doesn't get emotional about stuff, okay? So because this is showing up in your money thing, it's saying that you have a tendency to allow money to make you emotional. Not like an emotional wreck where you're crying all the time about money, but it sits with you, it worries you, it keeps you trapped in fear. So they're saying, let's get rid of that fear, because the fear is an emotion that brings more things to worry about into your life. Okay, so let go of the fear, let go of the worry. And I know that's so easy to say and not easy to do. So the great thing about our mind is that somebody said one time when I was growing up, people used to say, well, you can't help how you feel. That's a lie. That is a bold-faced lie. You can help how you feel. And the way that you do that is you decide to feel differently. And it's just a choice. I am not even kidding you. It is just a choice. You decide to feel differently. And the way you do that is whenever a thought comes in your mind, a fearful thought comes into your mind about money, tell it, I don't have time for you. And immediately focus your brain on something else. You have the control to do that. Focus your brain on something more pleasant. Focus. I'm not saying ignore your bills, ignore your obligations. I'm not saying anything like that. But if there's nothing you can do about it at this moment, then focus your attention on something else, because the more you worry about it, the worse that problem's going to get. There's a story in the Bible. I think I told this story in the last reading. But anyway, there's a story in the Bible, Job. I love the Bible. Job lost his wife, his kids, everything. He lost everything, money, everything he owned. He lost it. And he said, everything I have ever feared has come upon me. Okay, so he just confessed to this. Everything that he feared, everything that he felt trapped by, that he worried about, happened in his life. His friends would come over and say, hey, you must have sinned because God's punishing you. No, I have an alert for you. My belief, God does not punish us. God sets laws into motion. How we communicate with Him, the law of reciprocity, the law of attraction, the law of reaping and sowing, all that stuff. He sets all that into motion, and then we live by it. Sometimes we don't know we're living by that. We're sitting here waiting for God to punish us. He's not going to punish us. We punish ourselves whenever we do this kind of stuff, okay? So there you go. I preached. But anyway, his wife, Job's wife, even before he died, she said, just curse God and die, because she blamed God for doing that to him. And he said, no, God did not turn his back on me. You know, and I don't remember the whole story about what he said after that, immediately after that. I just know that he refused to blame God. He knew that God would not do that to him. He refused to blame God. And he took responsibility by saying that these were the things he feared. So the universe allowed that to happen to him because of his communication with the universe. The good side, the other side of that coin is he got it all back. You know, he got a new family, new kids, and I know that sounds very callous and cold, but he was, and he got back everything like 10 times better than what he had had before, because he refused to curse God. He refused to blame it on his creator. He took responsibility for it himself. Okay, I'm done. Okay, let's talk about family and friends and co-workers. We have new beginnings, okay? So we have the Queen of Spring, which is the same as the Queen of Wands. And she's brilliant, loyal, talented, and friendly. So believe in yourself. Wonderful people want to help you maintain balance between work and home life. So this is telling me that it's asking you to maybe take some new steps in regard to your family and your friends and your coworkers. Perhaps, you know, if you're spending way too much time with your friends and not enough time at work, or way too much time at work and not enough time with your friends, perhaps there needs to be a little bit of balance there. The Three of Spring, plan your next steps with an eye on the long term. Have patience. There's good things to come, and satisfaction from a job well done. Okay, so you might be in the mindset that, you know, you don't have time to go to the ball field with your kid after work. And you might be in the mindset that, you know, work is... If you don't go to work, you're not going to get a paycheck, which is a very logical mindset. But when we place something, and I'm going to say this from experience, when we place something above something else, we're placing value on one thing or another. Okay, so being at work all the time and not spending any time with your family says to your family that you value your work more than you value them. And I never could express to my kids, and I'm speaking from my personal life, I never could express to my kids, you don't understand. The reason I'm at work is so I can take care of you, so I can do good things for you. All they ever wanted was my time. That is the most precious gift we can give family and friends, is our time, is us, who we are. That's more valuable to them than any Xbox game or anything like that that we can buy for them. I'm telling you, I was a single mom and I was a married wife with kids, and in both cases, the same is true. They would have rather had me there than me at work and sending them money, here, take this money and go to the store, whatever, get what you want. They would have rather spent time with me. And I know that now because we get to do that now, and we enjoy it a lot. Okay, so the last card you got was the Empress. And again, it's this same energy, okay? Different topic and a different deck. So it's got a little bit of a different meaning. It still means that you're very intuitive and that you can manifest anything. And it looks like this is probably how they see you. It also is a very nurturing card, and that's probably what they want from you, your friends and your family, your familial relationships, and possibly some of your coworkers too. It's like this is the more valuable thing for them, to spend time with you in this energy. The ability, your ability to take anything and turn it into something beautiful is way more valuable to them than your ability to bring home a paycheck. I'm not saying quit your job. I understand you have to work. But again, it looks like that Spirit's asking you to try something different in this area. Start something new. Even if it's get up a half an hour earlier so that you can have coffee with your spouse before you head out to work. Or get up a half an hour earlier so you can play a video game with your kids. Something to give them your time. Do something to share with them their value in your life. That's what I'm getting right here. And again, I was that woman who chased that paycheck. And I got so frustrated when my kids would get mad. And as they got older, it got worse. They got more upset because I was never home and always working and blah, 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 blah. And I would say, it's me working that, that's the reason you get to have a car. And it's me working, that's the reason you get blah, 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 blah. It was like a constant battle for me to get them to understand that's how I showed them I loved them. But all they wanted was to be with me. So, I think this is what Spirit's telling you. Your friends and family would love to have more time with you. And this is a new beginning that they would like to see you. And you're going to flourish in ways that you can't even imagine whenever you do this, because it's going to feel a part of you that you didn't even know was empty. Okay. Now let's talk about health and wellness. You got the Wisdom card. Okay. So the Wisdom card talks about not only having a spiritual relationship, and this I'm not talking about church or any particular religion or anything like that. I'm talking about a spiritual relationship. You have a spiritual relationship with yourself and your Creator, and that's what this is telling me. Okay, so they're asking you to shine that light in your midst. Okay, shine it for others to see. You don't have to tell them what you believe, but as a spiritual being, your ability to do this in your home life, balance home and work, and your ability to overcome your fear about money, all those things, then you walk into your victory, and your life is an example to all of these other people, and you're shining a light. I thought I put down the Sun card. I'm sorry. You're shining a light for others to see how beautiful life can be, and life can be beautiful. Yes, there are ups and downs, but life truly can be beautiful. You also got the Six of Summer. The Six of Summer is about past lives, past relationships, things like that. Because you've got it in this spiritual category, what I'm feeling is that you might have walked a little bit away from your spiritual nature somewhat, and they're wanting you to come back to that. Come back to that way. Look at life again from a child's eye view, where people, you just take people at face value. There's no games. You don't have to be anybody. I'm talking about younger children. You don't have to be somebody to impress somebody. Before we worried about paychecks and keeping up with the Joneses and all that other stuff, it looks like for your health, and this is the Six of Sumers, the same as the Six of Cups. So cups are all about emotions and emotional fulfillment, and that's what they're saying. You don't have to worry about fulfilling other people's dreams. Fulfill yourself emotionally. Step back into what you know about yourself and what you used to practice in regard to yourself. Take time for yourself. Take time for your spiritual practices, and shine your light for others to see how beautiful life can be. And again, go back to that childlike innocence before we had to put on this mask to please other people. And then you got the Ten of Autumn, which is your happily ever after. It's the Ten of Cups. It is the beautiful home, the picket fence, and the 2.5 kids, all that stuff. And if that's not in your Ten of Cups, in your fairy tale life, then it's whatever is in your fairy tale life. And they're saying that is yours. That's yours to have. So with all these other things going on, it's Spirit's basically saying, yes, you can walk into this next 12 years beautifully. And it's not like you have a lot to work on. It's mostly mental adjustments, which is the case with all of us. It's mostly mental adjustments. Okay, once we adjust our thoughts, it's like the whole world changes. There's a saying, change your thoughts, you change your life. That is so true. I believe that with all my heart. Okay, we're going to do a PS. Again, I know this was long. Don't forget to check out that link at the bottom in the description, because it's going to give you more information on this astrological event. It's going to explain the whys, the hows, and all that stuff. I also want to thank you so much for the subscribes and the views and the likes and the comments. I'm a new channel, so that was just incredible to me. The support is amazing out there, and you've been a big part of that, so I want to thank you for that. If you haven't already subscribed, please do so, and I would love to see how this resonated in your life. And again, I would not have done this. I know it's a long reading. I would not have done it if I didn't feel like it was important. But 12 years is a long time to live with some energy that you'd rather not have to live with. Okay, God, guides, angels, archangels, and Holy Spirit, show us a PS. Please show us a PS for Leo, and a little bit of encouragement or whatever it is that you'd like to say. I just like to get additional messages. Okay, show us a little PS here. So they're saying, Ten of Swords, yeah, it's time to put down the things that have been bothering you, like this fear, like this self-conviction, and yeah, the other's not really, well, the spending time with your family is a mental thing. It's just something that we have to decide that it's important to us. But as far as the money and the love, put down that burden. That cycle's over in your life. The universe has something way better for you, but you have to be prepared for it. Because if you're still focused on this whenever it comes, look, if you're still holding on to the past, then there's no way the universe can put something beautiful in your hands. You have to release it. You have to open your hands, release whatever it is you're holding on to, so that your hands will be open and ready to receive whatever new thing the universe is wanting to bring into your life, whether it's money or a relationship or anything like that. So yeah, you got to get rid of those mindsets. Okay. Look, they want to bring you something. This is an offer from the universe to bring something into your material world. And that's what they're trying to say. Open your hand. Let me give it to you. Okay? Get rid of those mindsets. I love it. And transformation. I mean, your life, if you can work on these things in the next few weeks, remember this timeline closes on September 14th. If you can work on these things in the next few weeks with such good intention, that I'm not saying that on September 14th you might not have that mindset, but if you think a thought about worrying about money on September 14th, and then you sit there and worry about it all day long, yeah, you're going to carry that. But if you have a thought worrying about money, and then you tell yourself, okay, nope, not thinking that, not worrying about that. There's too many things for me to be grateful for. Then the universe honors that, okay? So you're going to bring that other energy, the better energy, into that next 12 years. And they're saying with these things that you address, you won't recognize these next 12 years. Your life is going to be so totally transformed with all of these things. Your life is going to be so totally transformed. Looking at this life now, 7 or 8 years ago, from now, will be like looking at a past life, possibly. Yeah, it's like you won't even recognize it. Leo, I am so glad you stopped by. Again, thank you for the likes and subscribes, and I look forward to seeing you again. Have a great day. Bye.